all businesses start from small beginnings, and when we started, everyone was involved. I remember being on the phone as a switchboard. I don't even think we had a switchboard. We just had a single number. 45 Calvin Road, I think, was where Nash Paints is now. We all on weekends or holidays or something like that would take on a turn on the phone or messaging. My two sisters, my brother, who's my brother's still in Zimbabwe. It was exciting. It was. I think the only non-exciting thing is I'm not sure that we got paid for it as kids, but I think we were all involved, and so many people were involved in the small business that grew. And I think being involved from an early age gives you quite a lot of emotional attachment to it later on. So when I came back in the early 90s, I was real proud to be back. And it's just that whole team effort. I think the whole family's been involved. I think the Garandi family involved, all the Matarusi family were involved. And just getting that up and on its feet was quite an exciting time, and quite happy times to look back on, I think. Yeah, our vision's always to kind of be the best that we can be, really, and to offer solutions to customers that are, tried and tested, and kind of leading edge, if I can say that. We're continually searching for different ways of doing things, better ways, try to be more effective. We do a lot of training. We're always looking for a new product and a new way of doing things. So I think we kind of meet that brief, if you like. We're continually trying to develop what we can do as a security business, working with our customers. So I think we're on track with that. I'm not sure whether we've surpassed that. I think it's difficult to surpass that in a time where business is moving so quickly. But we've kept up with it for sure. And we're doing stuff in Zimbabwe that, people just don't expect. When you look at suppliers or visitors, some of the things we're doing here just aren't expected. I think we've got quite a bad name as a country, maybe, but we do great things here. Zimbabweans do great things, and we're doing great things. So, I think we're on track with the vision and what we want to do. We're continually developing. We've got great people, and that helps. I think in growing a business, you need good people, and we've got good people that have been with us for a long time, and we've got good guys that have joined us more recently. So a real nice core of experience, innovative thinkers, new people coming in with new ideas. Obviously, because it's working faster and faster, you need the young guys, young men and women coming in to help us keep pace with that as technology changes. So we're on track to be a leader, to give it the best, to meet the demands of customers and exceed them where we can. We're on track for that, I think. Technology is moving all the time. I think what does stand out for us is that we're keeping pace with it. I think in our technology side, something that really does stand out most probably is our emergency response and response services. Real state-of-the-art software, good tracking systems, good teams and training, and I think on the technical side, that ability to respond to emergencies based on the feed that we get from alarm systems, cameras, things like that, the signals that come in. I think that's one of our best services we've got, which is technology-based. It's really responding to technology, but the technology behind that and making all of that work is significant and advanced, and we're very proud of that. Sure, we've grown a lot. We've changed a lot from early beginnings in Market Square, I think. In the early 70s, I think we were registered in 71, 72, started properly operating. Just really with a couple of policemen, my dad and his friend, we started from there. So in the 70s, it was really about guarding. I mean, that was the thing. 80s, after independence, things opened up a little bit. A return to some kind of normalcy as a country, and a lot of development from there. In the early 80s, we got involved with alarm systems. We started Safeguard Alarms. Safeguard Alarms, we used to build our own alarm system. Standards Association of Zimbabwe certified, a little factory where we ran, and we actually assembled our own alarm systems until the mid-90s, I suppose. and went through all sorts of, I'm sure, big adventures. I wasn't here in those days, but listening to the stories of the people that were there, Love Demagaya, Samson Former, I think were there in the very early days. Some real adventures around developing that technology, making it work. And we just sold thousands of systems, of really good alarm systems. And that was our core, Safeguard Alarms. That's still the name. And from there, we've developed to, the keypad alarm systems, to now everything's on your phone, integrated with cameras, and can see it from wherever you are in the world, over the internet. So the Internet of Things, I think that's a phrase that people use, is really with us now. And so everything we do, technology-wise, is connected. Everything's connected now, and we've moved with that. We've got a great technical team and technical kind of general managers and engineers working with us to do that. And the shift from guarding to doing that is significant. It's a massive change. Our engineering side and what we do on the barriers side of the business with fences and turnstiles and booms and access control and the software behind that, and the training and what people need to know to get those systems in. It looks pretty simple on the outside, but the bits and pieces that go into everything that we do to get it done is significant. There's a big journey behind that, from supply to assembly to manufacture and installation and commissioning. So from pure guarding to that is big. Some of the other big changes really have been around cash delivery, armed guards, close protection. Those are things that we just never did really in the very early days, or certainly didn't do it to the standard now, with the oversight and technology that's needed to make sure you do that to a first world standard and can account for everything that you're moving. I think early days of wage packaging, you may have heard from others, was kind of on the floor. Now it's it's cameras watch everything, and people need to operate to a very high standard, and it's counting machines and software to tell you how much money you've got and where it's going and who it's come from, and what's been banked and hasn't, what needs to be moved. It's kind of frightening, actually, if you look back on it. Some of the changes that have happened, and it continues to evolve, and we continue to work hard on best practice and research, and speak to suppliers and other people. So it's continuing on this upward trajectory. So huge, just massive change over 50 years across the country. And what's been amazing about the change is how we've kept up with it with everyone. From our guard on the ground to the technician in the field, the change that we've all had to go through to keep up with that and change our thinking and change the pace at which we operate, online all the time, guards online with guard monitoring units and reporting apps and things like that. I mean, those are massive changes, and you try and introduce that to someone who's been in the business for 20 years doing a very standard job. Everyone's adapted incredibly well, and I think that's part of our success, is the people and the energy to keep up with all of that. Yeah, big challenge for me is not going even more grey, or look, I think hyperinflation, big challenge for everyone. That was just life-changing for businesses and people here. So getting through that period, I think, is our biggest test. A lot of the people that were there in that period that stayed with us and stayed coming to work and kind of worked with us through that, no foreign currency, no money, real tough times. The hardcore of the Safeguard people that are still around were with us during those years. And so again, it gets back to the people and the team that take you through that. So I'd say hyperinflation, the challenges of getting through day-to-day business, and the understanding, the teamwork with staff, explaining how we're going to get paid this month and what we're going to do, and those people continuing to come to work on a daily basis throughout all of that, because people just want to see us on post and in place, and the demands are the same despite everything that's going on in the background. And we weathered that storm real well. I think in a similar vein, we weathered COVID exceptionally well. Just great teams in our COVID management team, incredible attendance and bravery, I think, in people coming to work every day, traveling every day, getting to work, and just working through periods of shutdown where as emergency services, or categorized as emergency services, we're on duty all day throughout that. Everyone came to work. Everyone kept themselves healthy. We just got huge, huge respect for that. The business didn't collapse as it could have during that era. So those are two big key areas, I think, for us. Yeah. I just think the success of the business really is around the people that we've got. And if we look back to our early days and when we started, there's always been a very good, strong kind of work ethic that goes with it. I think with my dad, Ted Mallon, and his partner, Peter Stiff. We've also had, some families that are still involved with us now. I think one of our first employees at the time was a guy called Joel Garandi. He was our first director as well, one of our first directors, Joel, founder member. We also had the Matarusi family, Sylvester Matarusi, founder director, very early into that kind of guarding era and kind of helped us get on to where we're going. Both families still involved with us as well, which is super. And then, the people have really taken us on. I think, if you look at our management teams and our staff and, that core that we've got, I think the culture around the business is very much centered around, long-term employment and work ethic and some of those original founding principles that were kind of instilled in us by those early directors, and it continues. And the energy around the business is excellent, even in quite tough times, So I think it's the energy and the purpose and that whole work ethic and culture that's developed and started to and filtered down to the all the new guys that have come into the business, new men and women that have come into the business, and I think that's the secret to what we're doing. From the guard on the ground or the frontline person to everyone behind it, there's got a lot of energy. We don't get it right all the time, but everyone works hard to make sure we do the best that we can, and I think that's all we can ask of anyone. So it's a very core to our culture, is that support and the energy and purpose about what we're doing. I think so important for us. What do we want to do? What's our vision for the future? I think it's really more of the same. I think we just want to continue to excel. We want to be a leader. We're very proud of the awards that we've won. The Contact Center Awards, which is really around customer service, which is properly researched, and there's some proper statistics behind that. We're a regular winner of that and have been for many years. I think that's the public telling us that we are on the right track, despite what we see as internal issues. We do respond. So I think that's really important. Super brands, we've developed ourselves into a super brand nominee and winner over many years. I think that's, we're really proud of that. It shows that we're recognized out in the marketplace, and it's quite a nice reward for the people that work at Safeguard team, that we are recognized after all the hard work that goes into security, which is a pretty gritty business. It's 24 hours, it's faster and faster. Especially now in the country, there's a lot going on with crime. It's really escalated, and so people have to work very hard. So it's nice to see some reward coming through and some recognition for that. So we're very proud of what we've done, and if we can just keep that going, give of our best, look for great opportunities, and work with our customers around those. And look for and continue to look for the best tried and tested kind of leading edge kind of products and services, and adapt them locally. Some of the stuff that's leading edge or used overseas doesn't quite work here, but if we can take the principles and parts of those and adapt them for local conditions, it can be very successful, and we have been very successful with a lot of those products by being first in with those type of systems. So we just want to continue that into the future, and remain viable and be able to give all of our staff satisfying long-term employment, hopefully where they can bring their families into the business as well, so that we just continue in the same same vein. That's what I hope that we'd be able to achieve and be here in 50 years' time.